Alright guys, 16 cylinders, 4 turbochargers, 10 radiators. This is the Bugatti Veyron. My name is Rob, MassiveOnline.net. Y'all all know me as Krakatoa Savage. Today we're playing the game Need for Speed Shift, and what we're going to be doing is showing people how to put some tunes on their cars, just baseline tunes, so they can get the most out of the game. We've all been there with this one. The game came set up for a steering wheel controller, and the controls just wasn't where they're supposed to have been. And what I've been doing with sites like GameFAQs, EA, and even my site, MassiveOnline.net, is trying to teach people that you can bring these monsters under control. And believe it or not, there is a sim lurking under all of this slick presentation. I'm gonna try not to do too much talking in this one and just kind of let the video speak for itself, because I want you to understand, I want you to watch the car, I want you to see how it's driving, so that you know that you're able to place the vehicles anywhere you want, and you can get levels of driving every bit as intense and technical as what you'd find in, say, a Forza 2, Forza 3, Gran Turismo. A lot of people seem to want to throw the word sim around, and quite frankly, they've done thrown it around quite loosely. The problem I have with most sims is they get all the technical stuff right about racing, but they forget the one thing that makes the teenager go and take his mama's Hyundai out in the parking lot and do donuts. The crazy guy that jumps ramps for a living, or the F1 racer that takes the car to untold speed limits on an oval with 40 to 50 other race cars. Racing is a kick in the pants, and what this game is all about is the driving, putting you in the driver's seat. The only way you should be playing this game is in the cockpit. That way you get the full breadth of what EA was trying to deliver. A lot of people have been asking, why did this game get 9s, 5 out of 5s, 8.5 scores when there was so many bugs in it? And the reason that it got those scores, at least I believe, is because it pushed the presentation bar up a notch. Let's face it, since Gran Turismo, the first one, Sims haven't changed all that much. They've gotten prettier, the cars have gotten shinier, but if you look at things like Forza 3, Gran Turismo 5, they're really sterile. Hell, even for that matter, Sega GT. They're exciting, they're technical, and there's a lot of fun to be had with them, and you get to tinker with a lot of cars. But none of them are just a kick in the rear. None of them. Now, the reason I chose this car is because I've been using the moniker, it's time to un-pimp your ride, and Volkswagen did they damn thing when they created this monster. It is the most undrivable vehicle on the road as far as Need for Speed Shift is concerned. And when you got a car like this, kicking over 1,000 horsepower with a top speed of 253 miles an hour, you're not supposed to have anybody and everybody just slop around and mash the gas button and be able to drive it. It actually takes a level of concentration to get this thing around the track. Now, I am a rabid racing fan. Hell, it doesn't take much to entertain me. Give me a couple of lawnmowers and a strip of land to go on, and I am entertained for hours, okay? That's the Kentucky in me, I guess. But when it comes to delivering a pure racing experience, I think the Need for Speed Shift really holds true to it, but you really got to do some digging to find it. And I will tell you, no, they should have delivered this out the box, tuned right, especially with Dirt 2 behind it and Forza 3 in front of it, and then a little while down that Blur, and then, Gran Turismo 5. They should have came with the A game, and they kind of dropped the ball. But if you bought anything from EA, or any company for that matter, in the last 2 years, you pretty much should have expected there to be some bugs. But what's here is actually pretty good. So like I said, we're going to be tuning the cars. and teaching people how to drive them. I'm not an expert. And please don't hold the car accountable for my little slips and mistakes. I'm just not the best driver in the world. But if I'm able to take all the assist off, tune a car, and get it around Nuremberg, the green hill, then I'm pretty sure all of you experts that are running around out there are able to just trump me once you figure out what you need to do to tune these cars. The one thing I've done figured out is, unlike Forza 2, which is what I'm used to tuning, every little thing that you do to the car has a distinct feel that and a repercussion on how that car is going to handle. You lowered the pressure a couple of pounds, there's a distinct feedback that you're going to get when you drive that car again. So, where do we start? It's real simple. First thing you do when you go to get a car and you go into the tuning options, you want to change it to the Pro Tuning mode. And the very first thing you do is hit default. Yes, this is another one of those little glitches that crop up, but this is what this video for, is to show a workaround. You hit that default. That's going to set everything back to where it's supposed to be. And it doesn't default there, so don't forget this step. First thing we do, hit the set to default, which is the left click on the 360. I cannot speak for what it is on the PlayStation 3. Sorry. From there, the first thing I generally do to give the car some stability is I go and I set the braking to the rear, somewhere around 46 to 45. What that does is that starts, how can I put this? We're going to start making the tires and the suspension do some of the work that most people have been just muscling around the track. They count on their just raw skills. So right now we're going to start making the car do some of the work so we can concentrate on the road. A lot of times when you get online and you see other drivers, the car isn't doing any work. You literally got players that are slinging the cars around, and some cars, especially this one, it just ain't gonna work. So we're gonna set that brake on up to the rear. Next thing we're going to do is we're gonna give a little bit of camber to the front, 2.0, maybe 1.8, something like that. But it just needs to be a little bit. But the one thing I do want you to do is on the rear camber, you set that to 0 so you have a good solid patch. Now, I was in discussion with some young men on the forums earlier, and the one thing that we came across was that this is how a real car works, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I drive a Chrysler, and if something goes wrong with it, I'm going to the Pep Boys. Guys, in a video game, in this particular game, set the rear tires camber to 0 so you get a contact patch, okay? Next thing you're going to move over to is you're going to stiffen up the chassis just a little bit to give the car a little bit of spirit. Otherwise, it's going to drive a little bit sloshy. One of the third things you're going to do is you're going to nail that rear end down in the aerodynamics department. Nail it down to the ground and then back it back up as you need it. Also, nail that front end down. Max out the arrows and then start backing it off as you get a feel for the car. Now, when you're driving this thing, it's always a constant act of restraint. So, what I'm wanting y'all guys to do when y'all are taking it around the track for the first time is take it easy and just get the feel of the car, and then slowly start building up. Because even when you take this thing down the straightaway, this thing will do 253, but at 218, you know that you're moving, especially when you're in the cockpit mode. And it can lose control real easy. You never quite got this car under wraps, and that's the one thing I love about it. So, I'm going to write down all the rest of the things that I've changed, and I'm going to give you my personal tune for this car. And I want y'all guys to enjoy and have fun. My name is Robert Wiggins, aka Krakatoa Savage. This has been another Gorilla playthrough. Y'all take it easy, because y'all know You compete, you quest, or you conquer.